if you guys can hear me because I'm having all kinds of technical issues. Somebody let me know if you can hear me, please. I'm not sure if it's working. Hello, hi, yes, okay, good. So you can hear me? Okay, cool. Awesome. Hello, guys. It's a super, super stormy, rainy day here, so I may wear a puffer jacket at some point. Let me see. I'm just trying to see, got all my settings right. I haven't done this in so long. How are you? I'm good. Today's a really good day, but very rainy. Oh no. Oh no. What's happened? How do how, how do I not make that happen again? I'm so tech inept. I don't know how to do this. Okay, well, hopefully nothing weird happens again. So this live is basically just to kind of chat about the undivided field and like whatever else you guys want to talk about. I miss doing lives. I really like them actually. I miss interacting with you guys. I have a couple questions saved from people, but other than that, totally ask anything. It took me a while to get on because there was a weird filter on the video and it was like totally pink, and I didn't want to look super boomerific with a weird filter on. Hello, hello. Do you feel the new energy on Earth? There's always new energies. Energies. It's always new conditions. What are the conditions right now? What do you guys feel? What has changed recently? Yeah, there were some really great questions. I have some of them written down. Uh, why did I add an X to my name on here? Placeholder. I just didn't want anything else there. Wanted it to be just the name, but I couldn't, so I added a placeholder X. Can you explain our relation to the undivided field? Is it like a wave in the ocean? Not really. It's like both at the same time. It actually is. It is actually both at the same time. Oh, is it hard to hear me? Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? Because I can take it off. The headphones, if it's really hard to hear, somebody let me know. Yes, it is hard. Oh, somebody can hear. Okay, let's see. Let's see what people say. Muffled. Okay. Is this better? Tell me if the sound is better now, because it could be muffled still. Okay. Is this better at all? Okay, cool. Awesome. So you're saying what is your individual relation? Relation itself even is collapsing at the point where you really can answer that question honestly. Relation itself is downstream of the substrate. So even relation is not an illusion, but it's not the total truth. So you have to consider that it's both. Are you posting this on YouTube? Yeah, I'm gonna try. My phone actually just ran out of storage. Oh, let me see. 1 second, let me make sure that I'm recording. Actually, it didn't ask me if I wanted to record. Let's see, how do I make it record? Let's see. Maybe I can't. Shouldn't I be able to record? Let's see. Or is it doing it automatically? I wonder. I kind of want to make sure that I am recording. Oh, lives are automatically recorded. Okay, cool. Cool. Then I don't have to worry about that. That's changed. That's new. So, one thing I wanted to talk about is Nolan asked me a bunch of really good questions, but I think this is something I don't talk about at all, which is like how I see or what's going on with me. How do I see things? Like, is it really physically visual or how? And I guess I could just riff infinitely on that, but I don't know how to explain it fully because I'm me and I've never had another experience. So
to get an outside reference point to even describe it perfectly would be kind of difficult, but I've I know that I see schematics. So like if someone is talking, it's like whatever the structure is within them, I can see it like a schematic, like a literal visual blueprint or something. And everything is like that. So it's not just people or what they're saying, but anything. I just see the structure of it. And I've always seen the structure of it. And when I say structure, I don't mean like a physical building. I mean like I see relation between. So like if I see one thing, it's like I can feel it as an origin point or as a reference point so that anything else you see, the relation between becomes automatically obvious. Does that make sense? So I don't know what that is or how to describe that, but it's seeing structure. I can feel and see the relation between things, feeling it and seeing it. Do you see structure from comments? Yeah, sure. It's like everything. I think it's just a very, 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 very acute sight because it's nothing that's not in the physical. There's just very small traces of it in the physical that most people can't see, but it does go all the way through. So anything energetic or non-physical that you can see has a physical anchor point or a physical expression some way. So you can't actually read it just from the physical because there's nothing separating it. There really is not. Why can you see these things and no one else? I mean, I people might see it and it just be their internal landscape and they don't have a reference for how to do it more. I think that's what it is. It's that I'm really interested in what I can see. And so I am very interested in diving into it. But I bet a lot of people can feel intuitively relations, but usually it's subconscious. People don't have it at their forefront because it takes training to bring subconscious awareness into your conscious awareness. Why everyone is asking if you're AI, I don't know. I always ask that. I genuinely don't know. I don't know. I don't see it on other people's videos. I don't understand. Let me see. Hold on. There was a good question up here. Yeah, we all see it, feel it to a degree. It's a spectrum. I agree. I think that's why I want to train you all to be able to see it because it's what will allow for telepathy. You know, it's like automatic knowing between. It has to, we all have to be seeing the same thing, right? And that thing that we're all going to see one day is the relation between everything to just know right away. Rather than guessing or misinterpreting the relation between things. People just are misinterpreting relations at this moment, which is why even one single object can't be seen correctly because you don't know where you are in relation to yourself even. Like if you're not rooted in your very center, truest self, everything you see is going to be distorted. Go live more. I think you're shadow banned. I think actually I've just not been keeping up with it very well, so I probably fell off the algorithm. But yeah, I should go live more. Let's see. But yeah, the way I see is like schematics. I don't know how else to describe it. Literal schematics. Like it looks like a pipe system sometimes, and it's like a web. So I also can see what I would describe as a web. And I think neurodivergent people can access the web really easily, and it's like a web of information. It's like all information is connected through this web, and everybody has a different access point to the web. But for me, I think something that I can do, which maybe is a weird thing that allows for all of this, but it's that I can enter any part of the web and then go anywhere from there. So it's the talent is being able to like see the relations, because if you can see how one thing relates to another, the path between those two things, meaning everything that makes them different and the same, becomes automatically obvious if you can see where they are relative to each other. But it requires a non-moving reference point, because otherwise you're the moving reference point and you can't trust that that thing you're seeing over there is really that in relation to you. It's all relativity. So something new that I think I'm doing and that I've seen that I don't know if anybody else has seen is to do with that relativity. So like normally there is no definitions. You, as you are now, your blueprint, your patterns as they run now in relation to another human being, that's just relativity. That's nothing real. There's nothing static about you. There's nothing static about them. It's just, what is this relative to this right now? And the new thing that I actually see is that when you're connected to your most core self, you become the non-moving reference point that can see everything as it truly is, rather than you being another reference point. It's almost like you become rooted in the origin point that you are, that you actually are, and then you can see everything. I don't know if that makes sense at all, at all. But that's like why it's hard to describe these things, because do Christic teaches? No, I don't really, I didn't do anything like teaching religion, study anything. Never. Never. That's why my stuff is so weird, because it's like actually coming from me, and I'm daring to just say it how I actually see it, rather than trying to enter it from another vantage point. No, it doesn't make sense. That's fair. That's very fair. Weren't you opening a center? Yes, I'm still building. I'm very much building in the background. Let's see. You have an awesome level of weird. It's enjoyable. Thank you. Can it be seen through knowing, just simple knowing? Yeah, I don't think you have to read. You don't have to read it or know what you're looking at. You can feel it and act accordingly and never have to know about it. I just like knowing about it because, again, I like filling in the map. Once you know one part of it, you can get the rest of it, which is what I'm interested in. It's like, oh, that thing over there that I want to know, you can't just know it by going to it. You have to like make your way there, if that makes sense. Let's see. How did you realize other people don't really see things the same way you do? I just started talking about it and realized that people saw it too, actually. It's not that I realized they couldn't see it. It's that I realized they saw it too. They just didn't have words for it. I think we, let's see. Sorry, these are going fast. What's your background? In what way? Do you normally do lives? I did do lives before, and I stopped because I got very busy, but I would like to do them again. Someone said, what's the difference between the undivided field and reality recode? I made a couple videos I'm going to post about that, but I would say the main difference is reality recode, the entry point is what's already happening, the structures you're already running, the programs you're already running. So you identify loops going on in your life. That's your entry point. Again, I kind of teach you how to get into the web and like be able to go wherever you want. But the entry point is what is already happening in your life. That's the easiest entry point, because you might not know why things are happening in your life, but you can see what is happening. You can see if something is repeating without resolution, for example. So you can look into that thing. And from there, we sort of like zoom, 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 and like, what's the actual thing going on? And then you can like tinker with it and change it. So it's downstream of what the undivided field does, because the undivided field, the entry point is pre-structure. So it's way behind, it's way back from reality recode. They both work. They both, they operate perfectly well with each other because they're not exactly operating on different levels, but just different entry points. And so you could have a million entry points into your system and you're massive. So like if you color in this part of your web by, you know, for example, reality recode could represent a portion of your web and you'll fully sort of color that in. And then the undivided field, it's like coloring in a different portion of your same field. So nothing cancels out, but they're just different entry points. So the undivided field really works with before programs get created. It's like the architecture that allows programs to run. We work with that. So again, either one, really. They're just different. When you speak, my brain doesn't always comprehend, but I somehow feel exactly what you're saying. That's because a part of you is congruent with it. Can you give a personal example of how you've configured your reality? I want to do that when I create my big manifestation program. I want to make a big one because that's kind of my most fun main thing. I'm doing what I'm doing now because I have to. It's like the base of what I can see, and I have to get it all out. And then I'm going to do more derivatives from that. But right now, I'm literally getting out like the most very base level, what I can see, sort of the foundation that is underlying everything else that I will ever talk about. So I really want to do a big manifestation system or program where it's really in depth about that. And I will give personal examples in that because that's my main passion. That's what I do. That's what I like doing, is like changing stuff and bringing things in. That's the most fun part. I just don't talk about it yet. Let's see. Where I can see horizontal lines pop up. There's a lot of ways that your system will translate what it can see or feel. One of those ways is sometimes visual imagery. We can feel truth, right? Yes, you can feel it more if you're more connected to your truth in your body, meaning that you act on what is true. The way you see it in your mind or in front of you. It's like neither. I actually can't explain it. It's neither. It's like a complete felt knowing and seeing at the same time. How I see the schematics. It's really weird, actually. Let's see. Seeing sparks in the sky everywhere. If you're talking about when you sort of look up at the blue sky and you see all of these things popping in and out of like existence, that's the probability field. How can we train for the subconscious forefront? I mean, to be honest, actually, I want to talk to you guys. I'm making right now sort of a small, really compact, less intensive little system for perceptual calibration that will address how you train for the subconscious coming to your forefront, because the reason people don't have access to it is nothing really structural. Structure follows what you can handle. So if you don't have that, it's because something there isn't able to be addressed by you right now. Not meaning that it's beyond you, but that you just won't. Or there's like a knot in the way before you even can. So it's to strip all of the distortion out of your system first. Because what makes you not able to tolerate it is having a wrong idea about it. If you have a wrong idea about something, you won't be able to tolerate the implications of it. So if you ever find yourself in that situation, just as a tip, where you can't tolerate the implications of something and you feel like something really might consume you and overcome you, you're seeing it wrong. But that's really what it is. It's that you have to remove that distortion before you can handle seeing, because it's a lot more neutral than you want it to be. It's not that it's bad and you need to be able to handle what you can see. It's that it's way more neutral, and it's not going to follow your stories. Whatever stories you tell yourself about what you see, that person's good, that person's bad, this is wrong, this is great, those aren't actual. That's just a narrative. So seeing real structure, you have to be able to give that up, and a lot of people aren't. Most people aren't. They need their story to make sense of reality itself. So that's fine. How do you access it? I really am training you all to access it through every system and thing I create. That's what I'm giving you, is like my site. I think I do have a weird site, but also you can train it. It's nothing that I have that you don't. Mine's just more online, and I can see how you train it up. So I'm trying to train you all up and systematize my own site, because one day I won't be here, and I want whatever I can do to still be around. So I'm doing what I feel is the most useful, which is giving you what I have, or trying to, so that I become not needed. What's the purpose of pain on Earth? To expand you. Pain is only a signal of where you can't hold something yet, where you can't act on something yet. It's not actually a wrong thing happening. You have to expand into that pain. Let's see. Oh, how did you realize other people don't see reality the way you do? Did you ever assume they did? I thought everybody was like me until my mid-20s. I thought everybody saw exactly what I saw, which is why it was very confusing to be in the reality where you see a lot and you assume everybody else sees everything that you see, but then when they act in a way where they clearly don't see that, I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong, or I must be seeing it really bad or really wrong, because nobody is validating that. But that's not the case. Not everybody can see that stuff. And yeah, it did take me a long time, a very long time. I was naive and very innocent about how people are. How can neurodivergent people tap into our gifts to a greater degree? Learn your system. That's it. learn your system. Nothing happens outside of your system. So if you want to do something in this world, you have to do it through your own system. You have to build whatever capacity you need. That's what I'm trying to teach. Because that's all it is. It's nothing that you can't do. It's just you have to build the capacity to do whatever that thing is. Where's the first book to start from? Geez, I don't know. I think The Undivided Field, maybe. Or Fractal Mastery. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to read comments. How do we learn to maintain the origin core point of being? The good thing is that when you kind of wiggle your way into it, there's no real going out of it ever again. So you only have to find it one time. And I mean, the way to, you don't need to maintain it. You need to connect to it. And then it automatically locks into place and starts being your governing architecture. You have to get there, I'd say. You don't have to maintain it. So to get there, you have to realize unconditional love for yourself. Honestly, that's it, which is way easier said than done. But you can, a very practical way to begin doing that, if that's a really weird or new idea for you, is look back through your own life. All the ingredients you need are in your human experience. They're not in books. They're not outside of whatever you've experienced. Everything you need to move forward and to expand into your next stage is contained within your own life experience. Decompress it out so that you can have more room to move. So like, look at your family of origin. What traumas are repeating? How are you maintaining that right now? Without knowing it, for example, eliminate that. That'll get you closer to unconditional love, because unconditional love is your true self. That's just you connecting to your true self. There's the traumas and stuff built on top of that right now. That's it. There's nothing actually concealing it at all. You just have filters installed because of what you've experienced, and you didn't have agency to stop them from being installed by seeing correctly. So I'm trying to help you all recover all of your agency and eliminate all of these lenses and filters that are currently obstructing your sight right now. Why does it feel impossible to change? Because you're not used to doing it, that's all. It's a conditioning process. It's a conditioning process. Nobody wants to get up out of bed at 4 a.m. to go to work, but you can train yourself to do it without resistance. That's the same for change, and then it becomes easy. So if it's hard, that's fine. Just do it a few times. Do it really hard. Let it be really hard, and then it won't be. Do you do meditation or yoga? No, I don't. Guys, you don't understand how I live. It's not like this way. And I'm not a guru. I like chips and queso and like dubstep and rap, and I don't live like that. You can be very embodied into what I'm talking about and have so much joy within the human experience of whatever you want to enjoy. And I like things on Earth that are kind of weird and, you know, not so pure. Like, who cares? It really doesn't matter. At some point of doing this work, you become so neutral that you really, like, you can't see things the same way. If you feel that there's one way to be correctly and that you should go towards that, it's just a program to eliminate. You're so free, actually. You're all of it. You're not just one thing, you're all of it. The more that you become all of it and okay with all of it, that's the best. We are here to experience, do what you want. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Can you speak about the Undivided Field book? Yes. I guess this kind of turned into a regular live. That's okay. How does the male-female dynamic come into your view of reality mechanics? I would love to talk about that. I have actually a huge system, the polarity integration system, that really addresses masculine, feminine energy, as people call it. I've used that entry point, but I don't see it that way. There is no masculine and feminine energy. There's functions within any system. And humans are interesting because they're a mixture. They're a mixture of both poles. And so each person has a perfect sort of ratio, and that's going to be different depending on the person. There is no females are feminine and males are masculine. Everyone has their own ratio, which is so cool. And I'm going to teach you how to like get your own ratio, because that's what makes you feel okay and good and capable and confident and like yourself in the world. So I see it as two different sort of functions and capacities that everybody has, and that function, you know, between each gender. Of course, there's a higher ratio, but it actually is function. It's just pure function. It's nothing moral. It's not what we call masculine and feminine is symbol, and that's not real. What are dreams in the undivided field? Recursive resolution. How high is your vibration? I don't know. I don't know how high it is. There's strange effects of people entering my field, I will say that. Do you ever procrastinate? Sometimes. Sometimes. Do we need to do reality recode first? No, absolutely not. I would just, whichever one calls to you, they're going to be different. Different entry points, different flavors. Each one of them addresses sort of different aspects of your system, so not one of them is first. They're both total global complete systems on their own. Keep getting weird notifications on here. I don't know what's going on. No, definitely you don't need to do either one first. Undivided field or reality recode, it doesn't matter. Do you know Bashar? No, I do not. Is witchcraft symbolic downstream from working structurally? Not really. It's actually super structural. It's very physical. If you're working in the physical, like a lot of people want the physical, a lot of people in spirituality want the physical to be not important and completely irrelevant, but the real fact is that it's the only place that is live right now. It's the only thing where choices are actively being made right now. It's weird, it's kind of hard to describe, but in the highest levels of reality, where you would talk about heaven or something like that, it's sort of done. It's done. I don't know how to describe it. Here is live. So here you have like an insane opportunity to do stuff, to affect the structure of every layer of reality, and you don't have that everywhere necessarily in the way that you do now. It's like true maximum agency is being an agent here, meaning you have full autonomy, full sovereignty. Here is way more impactful than having a freaking high vibration and being out of the physical. So if you're doing something in the physical, what I'm saying is that that's way more structural, and that's really anchoring something. So, you know, for whatever you consider witchcraft to be, I think it would be actually quite structural compared to, for example, purely symbolic frameworks that attempt to work up here without addressing the physical at all. Do you think one can be in partnership with someone who is not on this path? Yes, you can do whatever you like. It's what you can handle and tolerate and metabolize and withstand. So you get freer, not less free. You don't get shuffled into one path as you do this work. You get access to far more paths, far more. You integrate reality, meaning that it becomes inside of you. So you can move freely through it without so many barriers. So you can do whatever you like, actually. Are you married? No. How does this? I feel this strong urge that things will work out. How do I adjust my reality to this win? It sounds like you're already running that reality, so just let it be. Millionaires don't believe in astrology, billionaires do. JP Morgan said that. That's kind of interesting. It is true that the people at the highest levels know a lot about structure, weirdly. That's why I can't release my origin text, because the only people that could do anything with it at this point would not probably use it for the good it could do. There's a lot of people at the top that really kind of know what I'm talking about, which is hilarious because they probably don't want me talking about it. Because you guys having agency is the end of so many things. You guys having sovereignty is just the end of so many things. But it has to be done delicately. Are both bandwidth and capacity expandable through this work? Yes, that's exactly what I teach. And yes, they have a max cap, but you're not going to find it here. You're not going to find whatever that is. There's too much that you can do. There's no cap. It would be extremely difficult to discover what your cap is, first of all. And then to get there, it's not easy. You understand? It's not easy to expand your capacity. Expanding your capacity is building muscles in the gym. So people don't even want to do that, a lot of people. They're fine with what their capacity is. If you want to, you're going to have to earn it. Nothing is free. What to do when you're so done with certain systems, but see no other options? Why can you see no other options? Have you gotten creative enough? Have you gotten weird enough? So how do the people at the top know this stuff if they aren't in unconditional love? They don't know it. It's that they have a part of the map, a piece of it that might be very true and very useful and very hard won and passed down through all the wrong hands. But it is true. But they can't see the whole map, which is good. And that's why I'm trying to systematize my site so that you all can see the map. If you can see it, then nothing can manipulate you. So I'm trying to give you my site. Buddhism or Taoism, I don't know. I don't look into those. Are you protected despite sharing such empowering, transformative information to the collective? I'm going to tell you something. I don't care if I am or not. I feel protected by life. Like I feel protected by reality itself and its truth. So nothing that could happen would be untrue. So I don't concern myself with it. How are Masons so intelligent but lack empathy? I'm not sure if they're always very intelligent. Might just have a little bit of information. If you accept information that is new to you, you become more intelligent if you integrate it. So anybody can become more intelligent. Where were you born? In Texas. How did you map your system map? Painstakingly. The undivided field is the culmination of my life. It's so weird because I had like maybe 95% of it for all my life, and the last 5% that allowed me to actually compress it out and give it to you was so hard and took so long for some reason that I just can't believe it. Like not all of my work is that hard or takes that long, but for some reason that base level was so difficult to see. It was so hard. I'm so glad it's over. I feel a little bit dumb now because I've relaxed a lot since having the rest of it. I'm confused about which one will help me best learn about myself and learn to change my reality. Okay, so Reality Recode will help you initially. The entry point is it helps you learn what you're already doing because most people don't understand the structure of what they're already running, but you already have structure and it's doing what it's doing. And so learning to read that first is important, and then you can begin adjusting it. So Reality Recode really goes in right there, and it helps you learn to read what is already happening and then allows you to change it if you want to. And the undivided field is different. It sort of starts way back from that and before structure gets created, and helps you optimize how structure gets created in your system. So they're totally useful together. They will just reinforce each other, but you don't need to do one before the other. They're just totally different entry points. How can we read it if we can't see what you see? That's what you're paying me for, is that I've described it very well. And it was very hard to do so, to take an abstract thing and to translate it into something useful for you is very difficult to do, but that's exactly what I've done. How does someone deal with physical pain? A really quick way to make it less intense is just to go right into it and allow it to be true and feel it 100%. And then your grip loosens and it can leave. Basically, you had to dumb it down. I wouldn't even say dumb it down. I think translation is a really big skill. I've lived in other countries where I had to like translate language, and it gave me this sort of pathways in my brain to be able to translate things that don't translate, because in other languages it's not like you can take one sentence and just directly translate it the word by word into another sentence. There's different grammars, there's different structures within languages that make it not easy and automatic to translate. That's what I do too. It's not like you can just translate it or dumb it down. That's not what I'm doing. It's harder to not dumb it down and keep it at the same level of precision and still give it to you exactly how I see it. It just takes longer. It's like you have to say more words. That's probably how I would describe it. Oh. How do you deal with extreme muscular tension? What are you compensating for? Why are you holding it? That would be my first question. Which languages do you speak? I can speak Norwegian and a little bit of German. I can understand German, not speak it very well. And I can understand a little bit of a lot of languages, but not always speak them. It's very intuitive to me, though. I think it's really works with my brain, different languages. Hey. No, I don't speak German. I can understand it. Yes, I have experienced a Kundalini awakening. What's the best way to deal with intense emotional pain? I would say reframing. Because if you're experiencing intense emotional pain, it means that your identity is really having a hard time integrating whatever that experience was. So you have to reframe it until it fits with your structure. I know that sounds like it's arbitrary, like you're just making yourself feel better for no reason, but it's really not. It's that you have not found the correct orientation towards that thing yet, which is why it hurts so bad. Reframing perceptual calibration. Yeah, I mean, it's really structural. It's not just about thinking about it differently. That happens later. You have to go so far upstream to change your perception at all. This perceptual calibration system I'm working on right now, it's going to be littler and hopefully a lot more affordable for a lot more people, because I think it's one of the most important things that you could do before ever engaging with the things I talk about, is calibrating your perception to, for example, be able to see truth. It's like there's just swimming in the soup of life where you just feel a bunch of things, and then there's knowing exactly what you feel and what it means all the time, and exactly what direction it means you're going, and exactly how to calibrate that and do another thing. And like, there's so much mastery and precision available that it's so funny. Like, it's just so funny to think back at the level of imprecision that people really accept. It's weird. It so sucks. Like, it's just, we don't need to be doing that. And it's a prerequisite for us developing nonverbal communication as well. I've never understood the point of just thinking about something in a different way. It feels false. Yeah, you can feel the click of structure when you think about it in a different way and it's actually truer. And then you can feel the futility of trying to think about it in a different way and it not work. There's real ways to connect with real truth, and it's very structural. It's not, there's no vagueness. Is a book, let's see. Oh. Yes, it's kind of a book. I would say it's like a mini system, a mini course for perceptual calibration that I'm really excited about. I think everybody should do that. I'll try to make it as affordable as I can and as precise as I can, because I think that's the real prerequisite for any of this. It'll so make you guys like fast and just accurate. And I'm really excited. I want you guys to get as accurate and fast as possible so that we can like quickly launch out of the current conditions that we have on this planet. All it takes is you guys. Why is the neurodivergent brain wired the way it is? Is it a prerequisite for something? Well, you can look at the structure of a neurodivergent brain, the fact that the hemispheres have more hemispheric connections between compared to a regular brain. What would that do? What does that mean? What makes that possible? You know, answer these questions and you'll see exactly what it could be for, or what makes it possible, what makes it happen. The fact that less pruning happens, for example. It's just kind of a more reliable structure. But Just because you have a better brain or a more connected brain or a more advanced brain doesn't at all mean that you're synchronized to your body or your thoughts or your emotions. So you have more capacity, you have more potential. You still have to enact that. You still have to take it and wield it and do it. So it's not really an advantage unless you make it one. It can be a huge disadvantage to have massive potential and massive capacity and no ability to act on it. That hurts worse than not having capacity and potential. So I think it's just a higher stakes existence that you have to do it. It's almost more responsibility to have more capacity, or it's going to hurt. When is polarity integration going to be released? I don't know. This is so funny. I had so many plans for how my next releases were going to go, and then I kind of had this experience where nothing could happen until the Undivided Field was done, because there was a piece of base foundation for everything that I do in that I had to do and get out before anything else, even though the polarity integration system has been basically completed for 6 months. I just have not been able to touch it. This has taken all my time. The Undivided Field was such a crazy thing to get out. I can't even explain why. There was just something so profound that had to be found in it, or none of it would have worked. Yeah, you can listen to the fractals in your sleep. It'll speak to part of your system. What's the most unlikely synchronicity you ever experienced? There's been just, that's my life. Just, it's so funny and delightful. Just the second I talk about something, there it is. The second I think about something, there it is. It's really just that is constant. It's so funny. I just am giggling all day long. Let's see. What are we here and what are we supposed to do? You're just supposed to, like, refine yourself and resolve things that are unresolved. And then you get the next step. Do you have any book recommendations? Fiction too? Not really. I don't read much anymore. I kind of find it hard to read or watch things. Unless they're super funny, then I can watch it. I believe the billionaires are enlightened beings who want us the best. Well, that's an interesting thought. Do you have any plans to allow others to help teach Reality Recode? Yeah, I actually want to make a practitioner version of everything that I put out so that you guys can teach people. I really want it to spread because the field will be so cool if we can spread all this. I just have to do it. I have a million things that I'm going to do, and doing it with my little hands and my little body is very slow. So there's a lot in the works. But yeah, I'm going to make practitioner versions so that you guys can totally have license to teach it directly, because holy crap. You guys are probably better teachers than I am. I think my talent is my sight. I don't think I have a talent for a lot of what I'm doing, and it's kind of hard. How do you not get overwhelmed? Honestly, by mastering the things that I talk about in the system. It's just tension mastery. It's just knowing exactly where it's okay to move and where it's not, and when. You can read that in the field before it happens. What are synchronicities? Delay collapse. Local delay collapse. I loved seeing you via podcast. That was so funny. I would like to do more podcasts, maybe, possibly. I try to have no commitments because I need a very open field or nothing works. What was the last baseline shift you had to do? I haven't done a lot of like core level or baseline shifts in a long time, but I just did all of them at once years ago. Like every single one. So crazy. I don't know if most people could do that or would want to. It just wasn't fun. Can you go more into our ability to change the body, like the possibilities there? You could do anything. It's really cool. So I kind of see that your structure has um, sort of maximum potential, and you can self-actualize to up to any point of that, up to the maximum. So like everybody has sort of like a perfected self. I can't say it any other way. They have like a perfected version of themselves where if they were perfectly aligned with their core and acting in that, they would be that. Why are people asking if it's AI? Surely an AI would be more polished than this. That's hilarious. It was incredible and intense. Reality Recode cost a lot of baseline level resets. Yeah. It'll do that. And you got to be able to like hold the line when it does. And then it'll spit you back out into the most amazing place. What are the sources of your knowledge? My sight. How I can see, where I can see. That's why I'm trying to systematize it, because I know that that doesn't mean much. And I don't just want to say like I'm a psychic. That just doesn't even capture it. It's just take the systems and then you will have what I have. I really feel. What is your take on the concept of time? I've fully explained time and I fully know what time is. I got a pin stabbed in my right eye. Is that symbolic of something? Yes. Will you be doing one-on-ones again? Honestly, probably not. If I'm being so candid, that work took so much out of me. So just riffing about me, because I never do. I really try to make myself completely irrelevant, but I will riff about myself and my experience. Doing sessions, I would essentially take my sight and fully go like pedal to the metal, 100 miles an hour, and see everything in the person's field all at once. And that was so hard. Like, it wasn't hard in a bad way, but the capacity required to do that was extremely taxing. Let's just say that. And I figured it felt like throttling my output, which was extremely difficult. It felt like all of me wanted to come through this, and like it hurt. I don't know how to explain it, but when I can create systems, I don't feel that at all. It feels like all of me is coming out and all of it gets put down. And I think that's a way more congruent way to do that. So I'm making myself irrelevant and unneeded. I don't need to do one-on-ones because I'm making myself irrelevant through my works. I hope that makes sense. Would you ever release a story specifically about yourself, like your childhood experiences? Maybe one day. I'm very hesitant to like talk about myself. I realized at some point that maybe I did need to talk about myself, because people are like, who are you? What in the world? Like, how do you know this? And I understand it's very weird. I don't even know how to describe it myself, but at the same time, I just don't like talking about myself. Honestly, I don't like being in front of the camera. Nothing about this is what I would really normally do. So I have to overcome some stuff to do that. I will try. I've done Reality Recode and have noticed changes in the people around me, including my husband. That's because, yeah, that's part of you as well. And it's in they're in your field, so they must necessarily change as well. Let's see. Sorry, it's a little hard to read these. They're going so fast. Have you ever done psychedelics? No, I have not. And I'm very glad, because I've had a lot of interesting experiences, and I don't know if I would have trusted that if I had ever done that. Do you like Abraham Hicks? I don't really know that person. I really don't look at things, guys. I try not to. I try not to know what's happening at all, because I don't want to be influenced. And at this point, I don't think I could be, but I just don't want to. I try to keep it very pure and very real, which is why my work is different than like what you see out there. I don't want to take anything from anybody else, and I don't want to take their entry point even, because I think I have a better one, not to be arrogant. You not doing psychedelics is surprising, and I mean that in the best way. Yeah, a lot of people assume that this all comes from drugs, and I've never done drugs like that, ever. Can you say what the core of your message is? Unconditional love is truth. That's the core of my message, and it's funny that I think I embody that all of reality is unconditional love, and that you can find it anywhere, because unconditional love is truth is my message. That's my core message. And yet I'm making systems about how to calibrate your perception. And when you calibrate your perception to truth and accuracy, you are calibrating to love. They're not different. They're the same. So it's funny because I don't think at this point a lot of people could see that unconditional love is like the main motivator for me, because that's not always helpful to know that. And also, it's not very accessible to know that. So the ways you actually get to that are very tiny and very small movements and very small levers that can help you discover that in the physical. Which music artist do you like? You guys would be surprised. I really like, I like rap, and I like stimmy music. Stim. So like dubstep, anything funky. I like that a lot. The more bass and the more like crazy and switch up, I really like that. Can physical pain be bypassed? No, never. Don't bypass anything. Go right into it in the most intimate way you possibly can and feel it. Then it can release. Oh. Thoughts on alcohol consumption? I mean, I don't judge, but I think alcohol is like a poison, and it really just doesn't do any good things for you. Let's see. How to change recursions without nervous system collapse after long periods of survival. That's actually when your nervous system can be very plastic. Like, you won't want to, and you'll be exhausted, but it's easiest to do it then, rather than when you're really, really comfortable. It's way harder to change and collapse things when you're really comfortable. When you're so on survival mode and you're so tense and amped in your system, weirdly, it's a ripe environment for just collapsing things and changing them. Will you create a book on activating various psychic and spiritual gifts? You may not know it, but all of my systems will do that for you, because that's not a specific skill. That's just being able to sense beyond the immediate physical environment. And that's exactly what all of my systems train you to do. So you don't need that even. Just keep doing, keep working with my systems and books, and you will find yourself having that effect as a byproduct. You don't need to make it a goal. Why do we have a tendency to create idols so easily? This is funny because actually that's a very structural thing. It's borrowing coherence. That's why. Because it's almost like borrowing it while you try to entrain to it. You try to entrain yourself to it by proximity. And that's actually a pretty good method. You can do that. You just have to take it on at some point yourself, which is what people don't do. How is one best at service to the universe? Resolve your own loops. Whatever's open loop for you right now in your own system, just focus on that. You don't need to focus on the world at all. If you need to ever focus on the world, it will happen after you've resolved yourself, not before. You don't resolve yourself through the world. You resolve the world through you. That's very true. Can we use the system to collapse reality? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to collapse reality? It's fun. When motivation, inspiration is lacking, what advice would you give to push forward authentically? You can't. If you don't have motivation or inspiration, then there is no authentically moving forward. You would sit down and do nothing for a while or chill. Authenticity is real. It means doing really what is true, really what is true in that moment, regardless of what it is. So for example, you will know if it's to push through inspiration because it'll be what you're already doing and it'll be the highest motivator. But if it's not, then it's probably to rest. The intentional love we give on earth is most important. Yes, but to self is most important, and that will radiate outward. Do you think the concept of marriage benefits us humans? Not really. There could be other structures. It's just symbol. How to resolve contradiction? Collapse. What's the easiest way to stop a recursion in survival fear money-based? You have to find why you have it. There's no stopping it because you are it. So why are you it? Why are you that right now? When did that happen? And what are you trying to protect? Once you understand those things, you can actually make an authentic choice to not do it. But you can't make an authentic choice to not do something if you don't understand why you did it. Can one eat Takis fully authentically? Why not? Yeah, you can. I don't see that way. I don't see that you can't, that things are naughty or bad or something like that. Junk food is fine. Do you stop having dreams at certain level? I'm going to be honest, I've never had normal dreams. I've always gone to this one world. You can look it up on TikTok, actually. It's called Mall World. That's what it's called now, apparently. A lot of people go there. I go every night. I've never had normal dreams. I don't have random dreams. I've always just gone to Mall World every night, and it's like another life. I have explained that at some point, but I didn't know that other people were going there. What exactly is the feeling of something sacred? What is it you feel in churches? It's the collective field. It's the field architecture of that place. How come you don't post more randomness on your stories anymore? I don't know how much randomness I really experience. What do you love to do for funsies? I feel like I'm very fun. I think his life is very fun. I like fun. I think spontaneity is fun, and doing things you love, whatever it is, like doing whatever you want. I like that. So like going against the grain, I guess, is very fun to me. Playing with reality. It's just play. So everything kind of, I think everything is funny and playful. Like if something really dumb or bad happens, it's funny to me. I can't explain why, but it just doesn't hit me the same way anymore. It just does not. How do you enter your dreams? Just wake up there. Sometimes you can consciously exit, but just tired most of the time. How to get your life going again after finishing most of the inner work? That would require more questions to diagnose, because who says you're not doing your life right now? The more authentic I've become, the more I've struggled to make friends. That can be true. Try to accept yourself more, regardless of how it expresses, and probably people you wouldn't expect to accept you would accept you. How do you move out of insecurity? By loving yourself and doing what you know is right. You can't be insecure if you're doing what you know is right when there's no reason to. Like, it's really weird to explain, but if you don't leave yourself, you wouldn't be insecure. It's the feeling that I don't have myself, and so I need things in the outside to like stabilize me. But if you just stabilize yourself, it doesn't affect you whatever happens out there or what people think about you. It just can't affect you. How to beat the fear of failure. You have to fail. How do you let an identity die without creating a vacuum? The nervous system panics. You have to withstand the vacuum. It will create a vacuum, and you have to just sit in that and let it be crazy and freaky. I know that sounds weird, but it will stop. It will not continue forever. And every time you buy one of those, every time you purchase one identity or ego death, you gain more. So you could think of it like a penance, because it's never going to go away. Like whenever you remove something, there will be a void. That's the space where the new comes in, right? So without that, it's no point. So you have to be able to hold that. That's your capacity increasing. When you feel that void and the panic and your nervous system starts to panic, that's new space. You're bigger now. Congratulations, you've birthed. It is weird and it hurts, but that is what it requires every single time. And it goes away. Like that feeling of panic goes away. You just have to withstand it a few times, and then you'll realize, oh, okay, I shift. I am shapeshifter. I'm never the same. It's just no reason to panic. After enough times that it doesn't actually kill you and it only expands you, you start to associate that feeling with something else. So you just have to go through rewiring your system, and you have to live through the rewiring. It doesn't happen beneath you. You are the thing that's being rewired. Let yourself be stretched and pulled, and that's the only way. That's why people don't do it. It's because they think something's really wrong. When that feeling happens, it feels really destabilizing, but it must destabilize you, or else nothing new can come in. Why your stare is like that, I don't know. What does it mean when everything you try feels like a door is slammed in your face? It could be so many things. Let's see. What about when someone passes away? It's the same thing. Part of them is exiting a part of your field, not all of them. You can't actually be separated from them. But that space that is created is the pain of you birthing more of yourself. The you that is now bigger. That's the pain of grief. You actually get bigger. You get more able to love. So it doesn't feel good, but it costs. And eventually you will realize it wasn't true cost. Let's see. For you while you wrote... Oh God, what was an interesting insight for you while you wrote The Undivided Field? The whole thing was just revelation after revelation. And also I would say that what I've released is the sort of lay version. The actual version is explaining all of reality's creation from the very first until the very last. And so it's a very different thing, and I would say that just wrecked me. I don't know how else to say. It was so insane. It was just so insane. Yeah, so everything, every single thing in there is just insane. Can you love someone but not like them? Yeah, absolutely. It's because part of your system can be synchronized with theirs, and part of it is not. You are not one. You are hundreds of layers, and all of them have to synchronize. So when people talk about like twin flame or really connecting with someone, it's just that more of you is synchronized with their system seamlessly. You have a different relation to every system and structure. What's the bigger meaning of seeing people's potentials but not being able to help and change them? Do your own. If you're seeing theirs, it means you're not utilizing fully your own. So realize your own, and then watch how you don't give a shit about them anymore, and them realizing their own. It's kind of weird. How to find a job when you are awake. Why can you not work a regular job if you are awake? It means you're not that integrated yet, and all it is to integrate. Enlighten is freedom. It means that nothing is wrong for you, nothing is right for you. It's your choice. Whatever in that moment is your choice is what you do. So you can choose. The point is to get the choose, to get the choice. So like, you don't want to eliminate things from your life. You want to integrate them, meaning that you can choose them if you wish, and you are the center that has the freedom to choose. You're not doing automatically one way. Does that make sense? Do you cry often? Yeah, like that's the thing. It kind of relates to what I was just talking about. It's like, you should have the option to cry. It's a function. It can happen. So eliminating it is not good. It's never the goal to do anything other than being able to have more choice, more freedom. There's a lazy spiritual culture on here promoting illness. Sometimes, yeah. Do you meet... Oh. That's weird. It's saying that I'm inactive and it's going to end my live. Okay. Do you meet many people that you feel strongly synchronized with? The thing is, when you're integrated in yourself, there's a lot of parts of you. It's like there's a million parts of you versus one or two. If you feel like I am a pure being and I am just this, then that means you only have discovered that, because in truth, you're all of it. So when you're all of it, you can synchronize with anybody. Does that make sense? Because some part of you can recognize some part of them, and boom, synced. So actually, you should be able to synchronize with more people, not less. Less is meaning that you've narrowed into something super specific. So I think it's the literal opposite of what people assume. Integration gives you more choice and more access to things that you would have previously thought were beneath you. And now you just don't have the beneath you. Now you can just choose it if you want. That's actually the freedom you gain. What's your favorite breakfast food? I don't eat breakfast. I don't really eat until like 3 or 4 p.m. usually. And then I eat until late in the night. Have you always been very intuitive? Yes, but I couldn't read it. So I thought I just was intense. 'Cause when you can't read it, it's just a lot of information with no ability to integrate it. It's not fun. I don't get what is AI about looking about me. Can somebody explain? I think a lot of people look a lot more perfect. That doesn't make sense to me. How do you read it? I'm new here. That's all of my systems and works and books are to teach you how to read your own. How did you access the source code? Did a benevolent entity help you? Yes, that benevolent entity was me. By saying yes to hard things. It's not actually gate-kept at all. You have to be willing to see your own structure. That's it. And most people aren't. Okay, guys, I gotta get off soon, but I will plan to do these like once a week at least. These are fun. I like connecting with you guys. It's raining extremely hard here right now. I don't know if you can feel it or hear it. Someone said, why do you want? That's funny. Let's end the live on that. Why do you want? Okay, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.